Your teacher is telling you that you need to get ready for GCSEs and that they're just around the corner. But how do you actually get ready for GCSEs? Well, that's what this video is about. Hello, my name is Elliot Anekulov, aka Study L, and I will be going over how to actually revise for GCSEs and be ready for them when they come around. Alright, let's get straight into it. Being ready for GCSEs requires 3 things. 1. Understanding. 2. Memory. And 3. Exam technique / exam practice. Alright, so starting off, one of the best ways to understand something is to watch someone else explain it. Someone who actually knows what they're talking about. And videos are the best way to understand and learn about something that you've done before or you have never done before. And that's why I think First Rate Tutors is such a great resource for students like you. Yes, this video is in fact sponsored by First Rate Tutors. First Rate Tutors is actually a really good resource for GCSE students studying English language and literature, or either or. They've got loads of videos online on just YouTube as well as their website. They've also got a masterclass that helps people get ready for their GCSE English exams. In their videos, they go through a lot of the times annotating different texts and going over what you can actually write about in your English exam. I find that they also cover different interpretations of the text or what they think about the text, which can be really helpful because you can use that in your exam to get higher marks. As of the filming of this video, I think you should sign up for their September masterclass. They do currently have an early bird offer that you can go ahead and take advantage of in the link in my description. So yeah, videos are one of the easiest and best ways to understand content. There's loads of videos online on YouTube for maths, English, science, basically any subject. And if you're just lacking understanding in something or you need to refresh your memory on something, watch a video on it and you'll be fine. Some notable YouTubers for maths are Covert Maths, Maths Genie, and TL Maths. TL Maths is so good. For English, I'd go for Mr. Bruff, First Rate Tutors, Mr. Everything English, Mr. Sal's. There's a lot of English people. I'm definitely missing a lot. Science, there's a lot as well. There's Cognito, free science lessons, physics online, and there's many more for all the other subjects. So that's basically all the understanding. Like, if you just have a problem with understanding, watch a video online. That's basically all you need to do. The only other way you can get better understanding of something is going to your teacher. But obviously you can't always go to your teacher for everything, so I'd say the first thing is the better alternative. The second thing is memory. So I'm probably gonna sound like a broken record telling you these different things that you can use to memorize content, because after understanding content, you need to make sure that you remember it, since you need to remember it for basically 9 or 8 months until your GCSE exams start, and like get it out onto the page in your exam. So you need to remember it from now. One way you can do that is flashcards. Every day you have lessons in school, I would recommend you make flashcards on the content of that lesson. If you haven't already, go start making flashcards on the content of other lessons you already had that are probably not going to get covered in school, and basically just build a huge bank of flashcards that you can use to memorize content. Now, flashcards only work for some subjects, specifically English literature for quotes, all the sciences, any language, and RE sometimes for religious teachings, and geography and history. Geography for remembering certain case studies, and history. I didn't do history, but I'm sure it would help for history as well. And I'm just going to recommend one. Anki is probably the best flashcard app you can use because it uses spaced repetition to space out your flashcards so that you remember them better. So you can use paper flashcards if you want, but it's going to be less effective. I used Anki for all my sciences, and I got all 9s in my sciences basically only due to Anki. I started in year 10 and remembered so much content all the way up until my GCSE exam. The second way to remember content is blurting. That's basically getting a piece of paper, writing down everything you know about a certain topic, and then getting a textbook and then writing down what you know in a different color, and only revising what you know. Only revising what you didn't know that you wrote from your textbook. There's no point trying to revise stuff you already know, or you'll just be wasting time. Anyone notice me? Really, by the way. Isn't it really cool? I would say blurting only works for things like, once again, all the sciences, geography, and RE. I don't know if it works for anything else. Third way, say you don't want to do a lot of work, you're tired or you're bored, literally just get on a revision website called Seneca and just start going through what they have on, on the sciences, or I'm pretty sure they have every GCSE subject actually, so just start going through what they have on their website. It's really quick, it's really easy, just going through the content, and it just actively makes you recall stuff from your brain, so you're not doing something passive like just reading your notes if you're tired, but at the same time it helps you remember stuff because it has colors and nice like flashes when you get stuff right. So it's a good website to do when you're just not really bothered to study, because I know not all of us can just study for hours and hours. Specifically for geography, I made question banks. It's basically a mix of exam questions and flashcards, but it's a mix. So with geography, I did a very specific exam board, so I didn't have enough exam questions to actually do. So basically I made my own questions. My teacher probably got really tired of it, but I basically gave her like loads of massive stacks of paper of just work that I wanted her to mark, and she marked them. I got feedback and I learned from my mistakes. Third point, exam questions. Exam questions are obviously the best way to prepare for your exam, hands down. Apart from flashcards, maybe for the sciences, exam questions are the best way to know what is going to come up in your exam, because often they reuse exam questions in different ways, and they're just basically going to prepare you for what people have already done. If you made this far in the video, please make sure to subscribe, by the way. I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So please make sure to subscribe and go back to the video. I'm sure you already know that exam questions are one of the best ways to do or practice for anything, but make sure you don't overdo exam questions. I'd only start doing them after the mock exams coming up this December/January, so that you don't do questions that you're already going to be tested on in your mocks, and also so you don't run out if you actually start like grinding out exam questions. And obviously the same goes for past papers as well, but once again I wouldn't do those till very late into the year, because you don't want to do a paper that you might do in your mocks. Best places to go to find exam questions or past papers are Physics and Maths Tutor, and Cognito I think has some of them as well, but Physics and Maths Tutor is probably the best one to go. It's called Physics and Maths Tutor, but it has papers of different subjects. I've already briefly mentioned it, but make sure you go to your teachers to mark your stuff. You may be doing exam questions on English language, English literature, geography, history. You cannot mark those yourself. Of course you can maybe teach yourself how to mark your own work, but realistically you want someone who's examined for the exam board that's going to be marking your work, someone who knows what they're doing. Go to your teacher, ask them to mark your work, and then give it back to you if they don't mind. But they shouldn't mind, because obviously you're making a conscious effort to improve. But obviously that's not for things like the maths or the sciences, because you can definitely mark those yourselves, maybe except for 6 markers in science. With doing past papers, you can obviously learn from your mistakes, know what kind of questions you find the hardest, know if you struggle with the time in certain exams or work too quickly in other exams, so you should focus on other subjects that you don't finish really easily. My final thing is just have fun with GCSEs. This is going to be a great year. Hopefully it should be a great year. Year 11 was a fun year for me, and it's the calm before a very interesting storm that will happen in year 12, which isn't even that bad, but then when you get to year 13 it gets bad. And that's basically all. If you made it this far into this video, thank you, because I need those watch hours. See you in the next one, and goodbye.